Highly favored. grace and his mercy. Hallelujah. Come on, you are not worthy. You are wretched God. But God sent his son Jesus in your stead. Thank you, God. Hallelujah. Thank you for your grace. Hallelujah. Glory to God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Glory. Hallelujah. Yes, yes, yes. Woo-hoo. Oh, God.
Oh, glory.
My God, my God, my God.
Pass me not, oh gentle Savior, hear my humble Yes, God, Savior, do not pass me by. I'm calling you Savior. Blessed Savior. Come on, come on. Why don't you hear my today. Glory, hallelujah. I'm so fired up. I'm so fired up. I'm so fired up. I'm so fired up. I can't even tell you how fired up I am. I'm so elated. I might preach for 10 minutes and be done. Here it is. I'm so elated regardless to what's happening all around us. I know that God got me covered. Let me just say this. For those of you who are watching, I wish you were here so you can feel the presence of God. You may say, Bishop, I still feeling where I am. That's good. You need to come a step forward. Oh! Of God in this place. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh man, feel like 400 in here. There's 9 of us. Thank you, God, for being in the midst of us today. Yes, and giving us a wonderful worship experience. Once again, I thank God for giving me the opportunity to be able to deliver a word to you. On this day, I am fired up. I'm so fired up. Let me go ahead and get to this word. There is a word from the Lord in the book of Daniel, Daniel chapter 3, very familiar passage of scripture. I had to go here to get you to where I want you to be. Daniel chapter 3, you don't have to go there because you don't have the B&V version, and that's where I will be reading from. But you know the story, so it will be familiar to you. If it seems like I'm overreactive and hyperactive, well, yeah, I got some stuff that minister said there's a reason. Absolutely. I feel so hyped up as I went over yesterday how I knew without a doubt that God had me covered. It just brought tears to my eyes because only God can do such a thing. Yes, here it is. Daniel chapter 3. Daniel chapter 3. I'm going to start with verse 5. Here is what is recorded from the B&V version. So when you hear the sound of the horn, sound of the pipe, the lyre, the trigon, the harp, the bagpipe, and every kind of music, this is what you're supposed to do. Fall down and worship the fake, phony golden image that King Neb has set up. Verse 6 reads, and if anyone fails to fall down and worship the image, they will immediately be cast into a burning fiery furnace. Verse 10, you, O king, have made a law that says that every man who hears the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the trigon, the harp, the bagpipe, and every kind of music, you're supposed to have them fall down and worship the golden image. Verse 11, and whoever does not fall down and worship will be cast into a burning fiery furnace. Verse 12, however, there are certain Jews whom you have appointed over the affairs of this certain area in Babylon: Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, a.k.a. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These 3 brothers here, O king, are not paying any attention to you or your law. They do not serve your God. They do not worship the golden image that you have declared that was set up. Verse 13, then Neb became furious and enraged and commanded that these 3 men, these 3 brothers, y'all know their names, Shadrach, Meshach, and that bad one, that bad Negro, here it is, be brought to him. So they brought these 3 men before King Neb. Verse 14 says, King Neb said to them, hey brothers, is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and you too, bad Negro, is it true that you do not want to serve my fake phony gods or worship the golden image that I set up? Now I'm going to give you another chance. Verse 15, let me know if you're ready to bow down and worship the image that I made when you hear the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon. When you hear the sound of any music, I need you to bow down. But if you don't want to do it, this is what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to cast you in the middle of the burning fiery furnace. And do you really think you got a God who would deliver you out of my hand? Verse 16. Shadrach, Meshach, y'all know his name, and the bad Negro answered and said to the king, O Nahum, we really have no reason to even give you an answer. Listen, here's the deal, King. Verse 17. We know this one thing for sure. The God that we serve is able to deliver us from your burning fiery furnace. And we believe, O King Nahum, that he will deliver us out of your hand. Verse 18, here it is. But even if he doesn't, here's what we still gonna do and want you to know. We will not serve your fake phony God. We will not worship your fake golden image that you have set up, because God got us covered. Verse 19, then King Nahum was filled with so much anger that the expression of his face was changed because of Shadrach, Meshach, y'all know the name, and the bad Negro. So the king ordered the furnace to be heated 7 times more than it was usually heated. Verse 20 said, and he ordered some of the mighty men of his from his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound by their clothes, by their tunics, by their tunics, by their hats, and every garment that they had on. They were thrown into the midst of the fiery furnace. Verse 22, because the king's order was so rushed, and the furnace was overheated more than 7 times, the flames of the fire killed those men who were trying to throw Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro into the furnace. Verse 23 reads, so these 3 men fell bound into the burning fiery furnace. King Nahum in verse 24 woke up astonished, rose up in haste. He called out to his counselors and friends. He said, did we not throw 3 brothers into the fire? They answered, O king, what you saying is true. The king replied in verse 25, but why in the world do I see 4 men? Not only do I see 4 men, but they are all unbound. Not only did I throw them down, but now they up walking. And they are in the middle of the fire, burned but not burned. And the 4th one is like the son of the God. Let me go back up here, sir. Verse 17, 18. Here it is, here it is. Listen, O king, we want you to know this for sure. The God we serve is able. He's able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. And we believe he'll do it. But this one thing, verse 18, we want you to know. That even if he doesn't, we ain't going to serve your fake phony God, because we know God got us covered. That's what I want to talk about today. Using for a subject in this passage from which to preach. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, God got you covered. Yes, he does. He does. He does. Put your hands together if you believe that. God got you covered. Oh, man. Here it is. I know for a fact that there are folk right now, if you've been in church for at least 3 months, you know the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and a bad Negro. You know the story. If you've been in church for 3 months, somebody probably sat you down and told you about this story. But I only want to focus on the relationship that they had with God. Watch this. What kind of relationship did they have, Bishop? Glad you asked. The relationship was one of peace. Why is that important? Watch this. The best place that one could be in is if you ask God for something that you are already in an understanding mindset that regardless of his answer, I'm still good. Okay, y'all missed that. Y'all missed that. When you can give God a question and walk away saying, whether you say yes or whether you say no, I'm still good. See, you got to understand, that's called a peace mindset. When regardless, Lord, I got a bill due, and they said if I don't pay it by Friday, I'm done. You will still be in the peace mode knowing that you put it in his hand. Why? And know that God got you covered. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I've been there. See, y'all don't feel me because you probably haven't been there, but I've been walking in that peace mindset for a while. Meaning that it doesn't matter what I ask God fault. Let me back up. Here it is. A few years ago, most of you know that I had two tumors, malignant tumors in my body. Yeah. Started off kind of a little shaky. I wasn't doing the praise you and holy God, all that. No. I was worried about the tumors in my cancer, deadly, all that. But once I got into that peace mindset, watch this, mother. Once I became in that peaceful mindset that passing all understanding, there were folk looking at me with cancer in my body, but they didn't know it. Why they didn't know it? Because my praise did not change. My gratefulness did not change. My shout did not change. My raising of hands did not change. My preaching did not change. Why? Because I knew that God had me covered. Here it is. Because somebody right now, we're looking around at all the stuff that's going on in our life. Yes, that's hell. You look all across America right now. You see rioting. You see killing. You see poaching. You see breaking into business. You see breaking windows. You see robbing. You can't steal. All these things that's going on. But you know what I know for a surety? That God, He's still in control and He got us covered. You just got to stand and walk in that. Regardless of the answer that He gives you, know that He got you covered. Okay, y'all still not getting it. Let me help you. I wasn't going to go here, but y'all don't seem to be feeling it. Here it is. I was talking to Minister Jones the other day, and I was telling her that, oh, man, God just blessed me so. It's amazing what God just worked out. If I told you, you wouldn't believe it. It's just amazing. I need to let you hear the voicemail for you to understand the whole thing, because God got me covered. Watch it. And she said, at that moment, she said, Bishop, you remember that story you told about that woman who was in an apartment? And I said, oh, you know what? You're right. You know what? Let me share that with the folks on Sunday. Here it is, this woman who was filled with Christ. She was a Christian. She was a believer. Watch this. She had the peace that passeth all understanding. She said, whether you will, whether you won't, I know I'm good because you got me covered. Watch it. She was in a house, and see her landlord, the apartment lease manager, he was an atheist. Yeah, see, sometimes we get scared of it. Oh, man, I don't want nothing to do with them because they don't believe in God. Now, you don't. Who in the world should fear you when you got God? All right. Come on now. You put anybody on that side. As long as I got God, I got the victory. Watch this. So she knew that, and she was like, I ain't paying no attention. The atheists were giving her a hard time, giving her trouble, talking about her. Yeah, oh God, hey, your tire on flat outside. Tell God fix that. She like, that's all right. You know, He'll bless it. He'll bless it. He will pick with her every time. Some of you got some folks that do you like that. Just everything they find out, they pick. Oh, you know that barber, that hairstylist that you used to do your hair with? Yes. She in the hospital, so you won't get your hair done. I mean, he used to just pick with her every single thing because he's atheist. And all the time she would respond, that's all right, God got me covered. All right. God got me covered. Every time. He like, yeah, whatever. Who gonna fix your flat? Well, watch this. So there was a guy down the street in an apartment, and God just put in his mind to just start blessing people. So he went, saw the car, saw the flat tire, aired it up. Oh, somebody let it out. Don't have no hole in it. Put it in there. The woman said, you know what? Let me go ahead and walk to the stove. She looked, saw her tire. She said, look at her. I knew God got me covered. Look at her. It's just amazing how God stepped in the midst of situations when you don't even see them. Watch this. But the atheist said, no, there was this guy that walked down the street. He did that. It wasn't nothing to do with no God. It was this guy that's there. And she said, that's all right. I ain't paying no attention to you. All of a sudden, in this pandemic, you know, folks fall on hard time. Watch this. You fall on difficult means. You waiting on the stimulus that hadn't got there yet, and you trying to make ends meet. So the woman, she said, you know what? I'm hungry, but God got me covered. Watch this. So here come the landlord. He gets his little book. He goes to the door. He getting ready to put this note on her door. You know, y'all probably been there. You don't have to raise your hand. He getting ready to put this note on her door. So he goes up. And while he's taping the note, rent is due. You got 10 days. While he doing that, watch it. He's putting that up. He hear her. She's in the house. Listen to her prayer. Father God, in Jesus' name, I don't know how you're going to do it, but I need you to make a way out of no way. I know you got me covered, God, and I don't know how you're going to do it. I just trust you're going to do it. And even if you don't, I know I'm still good, God. In Jesus' name, amen. Y'all know what happened? This fool who take the deal on it, though, he said, I'm going to show her. I'm going to show her ain't no God. So he goes to Albertsons. He gets some groceries, right? Then he get a money order for her rent. Put it up. He said, I'm going to show her talking about it. And God this, God that. So we get the money order. And then he go, what's it? He slides it under her door. He leaves the groceries at the front of her door. And he does it. And he leaves. What's it? The woman opened the apartment door and said, glory, hallelujah. She began to shout. I knew you had me, God. I appreciate you, God. I love you, God. I thank you, God. She began to put the groceries in. Then she looked and saw an envelope, and it was for her rent. She began to shout. Oh! What's it? So here come landlord. He come up like this. She said, hey, here's your rent. He's like, mm-hmm. She said, look at what God done. I knew God had my back. He said, hold up. Hold up. That wasn't God. He said, I did that. She said, huh? He said, that wasn't God. I'm the one did that. I went to Albertsons and I bought all those $125 worth of groceries. And then I got a money order right there at the customer service desk because I want to show you all this God stuff. Ain't God? She said, no, it is God. She said, God just used the fool to do it. Because the Bible says a fool has said in his heart, it ain't no God. And God will have you covered even if you have to use your internet to cover you. Ah! Here it is. I got to leave it with this because it's all in me. I got to stop with this. Here it is. See, there are some times when you may have a little doubt as to whether God was in the midst of something or not. You may have a little doubt. But I'm going to tell you something. There is no doubt at all what God did. Y'all listening? There's no doubt at all. Let me help somebody. Took over this church a couple of years ago, moved from another facility to this facility. Pastor told me that we own the land next to the church. No big deal, right? Here we go. We're in the process. We got the design. We got the architect. We got the engineer. We got the builder. We got everybody that we should have. We just waiting on one signature and we get ready to start building, right? To the land that's ours, right next to the church. Well, about 10 days ago, oh, glory, I received a phone call. I didn't answer it. It just came on the church phone. And this is somewhat how I'm going to paraphrase how the phone call went. Pastor Miles, this is, can't think of his name. He said, I'm a developer in Tarrant County area. I'm listening. He goes on to say, I've been looking for land to purchase. And as I was looking for land, I noticed that there's a land right next to the church that appears to be up for auction. Woo! Here it is. So I'm listening. I'm like, huh? Wait a minute, huh? He said, there's a land in the and he said, it seemed like there's a church van on the land. So I got the number of the church van, and I don't know. It seemed like y'all been using that land or been using that lot, using it. We getting ready to build on it. Is what I'm thinking. Like, wait a minute, what is? He said, and right now on the records, it doesn't show your church name as the owner. Y'all don't feel me yet. But it's scheduled to be auctioned 2 days from today. Okay, y'all still not getting. Here it is. So I said, wait a minute, hold up. I said, here's that peace that passeth all understanding. I didn't say, oh my God, oh my, no. Peace. That passing all understanding, Dre. Peace. I said, wait a minute. God, there's a reason that you allowed this man to call the church a few days before the church lot is auctioned. So you were up to something. I need to find out what that is, God. So I called down to Tarrant County. Well, first I looked online. I said, let me see if he's telling the truth. I look online. Boop, there it is. 3625 read. Up for auction. June 2nd. Highest bidder win the lot. I say, what in the world? So what I do, I called down to Tarrant County. I said, hey, ma'am. I said, I thought the church owned a lot that appears to be up for auction on June 2nd. She looked. She said, no, it's owned by LDM Holdings. I said, LDM Holdings? She said, yes. I'm like, okay. All right, can't tell you that other part because we got to keep that between me and her. But here's the deal. So I look online. I verified. Yep, there's an LDM holding. Got information. So here's what I do. I call them, Dre. I say, okay, let me get ready to negotiate with them. Let me get ready to tell them that the church lot been here. We've been using it. We getting ready to build. Watch this. Hello, I say, hey, how you doing? Hey, this is Bishop Miles. I'm the pastor of Power and Temple of Praise, 3615 Reed Street. You appear to have a lot that's 3625 up for auction on June 2nd. I said, it would be lovely if you would donate that lot to the church. He only said one word. After a slight pause, he says, okay. I said, whoa. Wait a minute, I'm about to argue. I'm about to reason with them. I'm prepared to say, well, it'll be a blessing and God will bless you and heal. I ain't have to say nothing. He said, okay. Y'all didn't feel me, did you? Let me help somebody. The land was about to be auctioned 2 days from now. But the God that got me covered said, I ain't gonna let that happen. What's it? So I'm going to put in the mind of somebody you don't even know to give you a call. And it had to be the right person. Because if it was the wrong person, they would have bought the lot and tried to sell it to us. But God said, no, I got you covered. No, I got you covered. I got you covered because of your faithfulness. I got you covered because of your honor. I got you covered. Is there anybody here know that God? Before I get hoarse, before I get hoarse, I got to tell you the rest. Before I get hoarse, So I'm still kind of in shock. So I said, what do I do from here? He said, well, he said, I think I owe a little something on it from the taxes that I didn't pay. He said, will the church be willing to pay that? And yeah, I donate it. I said, yes. I said, oh man, wonder how much that is. But it didn't matter, Dre. I didn't care what. We got it for sure this time. So I said, yeah, okay. He said, well, you know what? Let me check to see how much it is. He looked on that. He said, oh, okay. It's just a little bit over 2,000. 2,000? 2,000? Y'all don't feel what I'm feeling. I said, I talked to the treasurer. I said, hey, I need $2,000 in something. She said, for what, Bishop? I said, cause I gotta pay for a land. She said, I thought that land was ours. I said, it is. It is ours. Somebody was just borrowing it until God told me to put work in. And once I put the work in, God said, I got you covered. I got your back. I got your sin. finish telling them, but I can tell y'all.